Cool, 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 cool. Second one in 2 hours. This is great. Great way to spend a Tuesday. Love me some Tuesdays. Honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I could do this for the rest of my life. Just chat with. It's great. It's great. Waiting for my guests to hop in. In the meantime,
Yes,
oh,
sir.
what's up?
Hello, hello.
How you doing,
Doing well yourself?
bro? We got a lot to talk about.
I'm excited. Let's
We
get
might we
into it.
might not even cover everything today. So let's like
Yeah.
let's lower the pressure on this conversation. How
Well,
are you doing?
I'm doing well, trying to get this camera thing set up right.
It's all
There
good.
we, there we go. There we go.
So an hour ago I just finished up an IG live with someone who specializes in posing composition.
Posing composition,
Yeah,
like
he makes music
choreography,
for for posing routines. He makes music for it.
or music. Yeah, I just saw that post there. I was like about to. I'll have to watch that after.
Yeah, you should check it out. You should check it
Yeah.
out. I'm for one, I'm really excited about the connection that you and I have made. I see a lot of different directions that you and I can collaborate on. So like I said, we'll work on the pace. I'm all about getting like the
Yeah.
pace right. So hopping into it, posing, man, posing. Let's
Yeah.
just talk posing for a second.
Yeah, man. Uh, what about posing? Speaking of the composition, I like the recent years I started just cutting up and like remastering some songs to fit the time limit that I
Mm-hmm.
had,
Mm-hmm.
right? I've just used like a little video editor and just cut the song that I need to fit where I need it, right? And try and make it flow. Yeah, that's been something that I've wanted to do, just cut and mix routines to my liking. So that composer there for posing routines, I might have to get in contact with him.
I sent him your Instagram. I'm pretty sure that you guys are going to end up talking to each other,
Oh, for
just
sure.
because you're both very passionate about the art form of posing, and it would seem that you both agree with the fact that like it's not really getting the attention that it deserves in the
No,
sport.
no, but
Yeah,
building it and yeah,
yeah.
building it. I see posing as a genre of dance, right? I want to see it like respected in that genre of dance.
I
Yeah.
like that. And between you and me, I am cutting. I do plan on doing a show as soon as my body composition is ready to do a show. Like I want to approach this whole career as a natural bodybuilder. Like this is my personal experience as a natural bodybuilder, right? So
Mhm.
that means I am not cutting to be the most conditioned person on stage. I'm gonna go on stage when I feel like going on stage. I'm gonna pose the way I want to pose. I am
Mhm.
not caring about the judge's decisions because at the end of the day, I'm the solution to this
Yeah.
whole issue. So
Yeah.
like I can't wait for the judges to like, oh, Shaun Fury's the solution. I'm already telling you I'm the solution.
Hmm.
So the way I go about finding these solutions to these problems, that's how I go about finding them, you
Hmm.
know? So it's like a very personalized experience of bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Um, with that in mind, I love your approach to posing practice. Um, I actually look at it like you mentioned dance. I look at it from a perspective of movement
Hmm.
and translating because like at the end of the day, my storyline or like my arc as a human being is a leader. And I look at the greatest leaders in the history of humanity and I compare myself to those individuals. And if we're looking to construct the embodiment of what it means to be a great leader in fitness, in Hollywood, and in politics, we have to think about how does this person walk? How does this person move through life? Because that's going to be studied. And posing is a great opportunity to display how that great leader moves on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Posing. I had it right in my head. You mentioned it. You said it really good, but yeah, posing like you cannot you cannot set a new standard by s- dulling yourself down to the current standard, right? If you don't do what you want to see, your vision, and nobody will, like, you won't break those boundaries that people have set,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
in ways like, oh, the judges want to see this, like, this
Yeah.
is how you need to pose here,
Yeah.
this is what they're looking for as far as conditioning. It's like, no, this is my journey, I want to step on stage in my way, right?
And a perfect example of that, I mean, dude, the golden era is so rich with like the right mentality to actually
Hmm.
pursue bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Because if you think about the last time that Arnold Schwarzenegger won, which was I believe 1980, and
80s. Yeah.
a lot of people think that he shouldn't have won because like he showed up out of nowhere. He didn't have the right conditioning. He hadn't really been training for Mr. Olympia. Instead, he had just finished rapping on a movie called Conan,
Hmm.
and it was a big upset that he like showed up and then won. On that note, apparently, as the story goes, he was hitting poses that were like against the judge's orders, and he
Mm.
still won the night. He still won the Mr. Olympia championship. Like they would tell him like to do a side chest, and he would hit a front double, and then
Mm.
it would say, Arnold, please hit a side chest, and he'd be like, Nah, I'm just gonna hit a front double. And guess what? He got the Mr. Olympia title.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way the champion moves,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
feel
you're
like
right.
that's
You're
that's
like you
probably the
said it
hook.
right. It's the way the champion moves. Sometimes like it's just like you ooze that charisma, that confidence, and it's enough to seal that deal, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Not to
yeah.
mention he had already formed the legacy behind him, which had a momentum, but
And the alliances and the like
hmm
the allegiance within the IFBB sport, the Joe Weider, the Ben Weider, the politics that are going on behind it,
yep.
which we will be able to capture all of when it comes to this specific promotion of the Natty King. Like
I
we're
have a
like,
couple ideas too, just like promotional ideas, little skits or something
I
like
love
that
that.
we
I
could
was
throw
also
at it.
thinking about getting into humor too.
Hmm.
You know, because like some of my athletes are already getting accused of being fake natties. So
Yeah.
like I want to find out, like I want to brainstorm ways to like poke fun at
Hmm.
them being accused of like being a fake natty. Like I want to do a sketch. Do you know Oscar Moscat? He's one of the athletes.
No one, no.
He goes by the professor. I'll show you
Oh,
his Instagram directly after
oh,
this.
the professor?
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. So
I
a
could
lot of people
imagine
don't
why
think.
people are calling him a fake natty, yes.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. So I would love to do a sketch where like he's hooked up to a polygraph and like we
Mhm.
have like one of those YouTube influencer comedian people. I'm
Yeah.
thinking Trevor Wallace. I'm just like throwing that out into the future. But like Trevor Wallace is doing a polygraph test on him and he goes like, "Are you a lifetime natural?" And Oscar goes like, "Yes." And then like Trevor just like flips out like,
Yeah.
"Bro,
Oh, I can see it already, yeah.
yeah, no one believes this. Are you telling me that this is natural?" And like
He's
he's just
very
like,
good off the cuff, so like,
"Yeah."
yeah, that creates some good
Yeah,
comedy.
yeah, someone like that. But you know, like that's all future content. We're gonna be able to have like a lot of fun, as you can see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. So
yeah.
posing,
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
were talking about the composing aspect of it.
Tell me about what you're currently doing. Like, what are you doing? Like, what about Alexis? Um, you're doing like posing every day. Tell me
Yeah,
about that.
so pretty much I just decided it's something I've been just holding off for a long time. I'm very self-conscious and self-critical about what I release. I started doing like videos of me freestyling posing way back in like 2016, and I released a few whatever, but I was just let my self-critical side take over for many years, and knowing I could be doing this thing, but I put it off, put it off, put it off, and like I just feel this momentum building now that it's like I need to screw it. Fuck it. I need to post and present what I have to the world, even if it's a rough draft, right? Just show this is what I'm committed to. It doesn't matter the time it takes. Like the mindset I've adapted to get my pro card. Now I'm adapting to like, okay, business, how can I share my passion with the world? And so I've been posing every day for 12 days now. Typically, in the past years, like I would really only ramp up my posing maybe 8 weeks out, 12 weeks out, depending on when the idea struck me. right? Because I would get I need to be excited for it, right? So when that idea strikes me for a routine to create for the stage, that's when I put that work in, and I have the knowledge of movement to choreograph things pretty quickly. But just putting in that time and honing the craft of my posing, this is what I've committed to, right? The social media aspect is almost secondary to it. I want to be the best poser there is, so I need to hone that craft every day, which is something I've been neglecting for way too many years. Uh, but yeah, I'm here now.
Okay, bro. All right. So we're gonna team up. Because I'm all about rivalries. I understand that. I may have already said this to you. I speak a lot.
Yeah.
I'm so doubted right now. But I understand that sports stories, the greatest sports stories, are developed around rivalries.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be the best poser, I'm going against you. We're
Okay.
competing. We're competing for that title,
I'm
and
ready for it.
our posing is going to look different. But
Yeah.
I'm going for the best poser.
Okay. I
And
mean,
with that being said, you're already an IFBB pro. You already got years ahead. So I
mhm.
need some advice. What do I need to do in order to get to your level?
I mean that aspect of willingness to play, right? I was just thinking about that. Rick Rubin encapsulated that quote beautifully, right? In order for like creativity to flow, you have to be willing to play. You have to also be willing to look like a fool, right? You have to figure out pretty much what doesn't work, and you have to be like very meticulous about what does work, right? Constantly the mirror is your tool, right? So that I over time, like before I was even bodybuilding, right? I was into lifting weights. I was still looking at that mirror, right? Focusing on what I wanted to look like, then bringing it into like that performance aspect. Yeah, it's just time and creativity, able to flow through different things and listen to, what moves you, and being able to connect. The last thing would be connecting an emotion and being able to translate that emotion through your movements to the crowd. Like that's what truly encapsulates a good routine. It doesn't necessarily matter about the form of your motions. It doesn't necessarily matter about the poses you choose, but if you can communicate that emotion that you have in your brain, music, no music, to that crowd through your movement, that's what makes a great poser, in my opinion.
I love it, man. That sounds like we have similar ideas as to what it's supposed to look like.
Hmm.
Real quick, let's do a quick history lesson.
Hmm.
Who are your favorite posers that come to mind?
Oh, starting way back. Well, you got like Bob Paris, Steve Reeves. Um, you have then going into Muhammad Mockaway. He was a good one in the 80s. Uh, then the traditional Frank Zane, Mike Menser had some great poses. Tom Platz, like they all have good poses, right? But as
Hmm.
far as like the performance aspect, probably like the Frank Zane, Muhammad Mockaway. Then going into oh, where what? Oh, Lee Labrada, obviously. Then uh, later generations, Flex Wheeler was amazing. Sean Ray was amazing. Kevin Levrone was also amazing and inspiring. Then moving on the generations, uh, loved Kai Green. Like he was another like one of the initial loves before I even was into bodybuilding. Kai Green was amazing. Um, yeah, and then recent years there we can go on and on. Recent years there's just so many.
Do you know the marvelous Melvin Anthony?
Marvelous I think yeah, I've definitely seen his routines before. He was like 80s, 90s as well.
He
Or
was
no.
competing against Coleman, Ronnie Coleman.
Pullman. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Early
He had
2000s.
shared the stage with Kai Green a couple of times. In fact, in the competitions where they're giving out best poser awards,
Mm,
Melvin was beating Kai Green
really?
on those competitions
I'll
for
have to
best
go
poser.
see his discography a little bit deeper.
Oh, he's amazing. He's
Mm,
amazing. Yeah, really check him out. His posing is unique to him.
hmm.
So he had the ability to incorporate pop locking.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Now I put the name to the face. Yeah,
Hmm.
I
Hmm. What I like, he's actually a coach of ours.
mm,
He coaches myself and my training partner Valley Muscle.
nice.
What I love about Marvelous's legacy is that when you talk to a judge who witnessed his posing routine, they talk about his level of entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
how he was able to entertain the audience in a way that no other athlete on stage could do. And that's something else to like really keep in mind. I really love your flow, and I asked the question, what is necessary, like what do we have to communicate to the audience for them to understand that this is as artistic and flowy and beautiful and majestic as posing can be? How do we present to the audience that this is also very entertaining in the same way that Marvelous was able to communicate that?
I mean, yeah, the perfect routine really walks that line, right? You've seen recent this year, lots of people are trying to just go for that, just entertainment at all costs, right?
Hmm.
Not one pose being hit on stage, going into dances, going into different things that are, not respecting the art, right? But if you're able to walk the line between entertainment, I like to use like acrobatics and movements like that I've learned and developed over years, seamlessly transitioning into poses, right? That's my kind of little niche area,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then slowly involving forms of like dance in the transitions, but I feel it needs to be the it with the music because that's just it's just my that's how my brain works. It goes with the beat, and it also needs to be seamless in from pose to pose, right? That's what I look for in those solid routines. But there is also some good posing routines that don't follow the continuity of the music per se, but also have good like an entertainment level and solid form in the posing.
Yes, yes. And even just listening to you, I see so much opportunity to really explore and expand on the pre-existing understanding of what posing and posing routines are. And I'm stoked.
Mm.
Um, even when you apply it to, I've already explained to you that this is intended to become an anime concept in the future,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
So when we even consider like I want to follow like the same system of power creep. Power creep is basically where you have an anime, and then as you like get through each season, the power scale gets bigger and bigger,
Mm.
right? So if you like take Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah,
Goku didn't even know that he was a Saiyan until they got to Dragon Ball Z. And
yeah,
then the minute that he became aware of that he was a Saiyan, it became all about like getting bigger power levels. And then
mhm,
the concept of Super Saiyan was introduced. Then the concept of Super Saiyan 2, yada, 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 it goes on
yeah.
and on. So for
Lovely.
like the first season of the Natty King, I want it to be like very grounded. You know, like I
Hmm.
want us to be like normal athletes who are
Yeah,
pursuing greatness, right?
yeah,
What other way can we express our greatness as natural bodybuilders if not through the main art of posing and the
hmm,
perfection and the mastery of that craft? So
yeah,
we can actually really display the majesty of a great posing routine through
yeah,
anime if we actually like, you know,
yeah.
we'll probably go into production on that. I don't know, I'm just guessing like 2030, 2031. So we've got some time, you and I have some
Yes.
time to like really figure out like what we want it to look like, you know?
I mean, I can already begin to see like the seeds being like the raw form of like the purest no music, the silhouette, the art, etc.
I can see it
Black
too.
and white going
Yeah.
into like the classical music and then the 80s rock scene like type of posing routines and then going into like the R&B and then going into the new school. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know
And
we
then
had a
slowly
writer over here.
elaborating and then projected down the future, we had like then there's props, then there's like gymnastic level bodybuilders that can yeah, that can
Yes.
do
Yeah.
all the superhero landings, superhero like spins, twists seamlessly, just completely mind blown. Yeah, like
Dude,
Cirque du Soleil.
you're hitting every fucking nail on the head.
Yeah.
I genuinely want, by the time we actually get to the anime, which is supposed to take place 20 years in the future, each athlete who's competing for the Natty King at that point in time, 20 years in the
Hmm.
future, like they have free reign as to what they want their posing routine to look like. I
Yeah,
want to use the incorporation of animals, like you said, like gymnastics. I
yeah,
want more creativity within
yeah.
that space because like you and I both understand, bodybuilding's been around for decades and somehow posing has gotten worse
Hmm.
and it's been like less valued because the judges don't care and the
Yeah,
athletes are only caring about winning. And
yeah.
the thing that they're being trained to focus on when it comes to winning bodybuilding shows is conditioning.
Hmm.
Like, let's be honest. It's like that's the thing that's being judged most out of everything: conditioning, and then size, and
Yeah,
then shape, and then posing is way down at the bottom. So we have an opportunity to like restructure how these decisions are being made as to who's deserving of a specific title, what
yeah,
have you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm full agreement with that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Um, switching gears for actually, I don't want to switch gears because I'm going to the gym probably directly after this, and I'm hitting back, and then I'm going to go into the posing room
Yeah.
and playing around with posing. I'm trying to ask like the best questions. How is your flexibility, and like, do you train your flexibility to
Always
accommodate?
like, so my one of my core beliefs is like functional training over everything, right?
Okay.
It's not about muscle for muscle's sake, it's about having the muscle and the ability, right? So through my extensive sports background, I was never really over flexible, but when I started in 2019, I decided I want to bring my splits to the stage. That was like the main goal, whatever. And so I trained my mobility, especially in the lower body, every day. And in 2 months, I was able to get from like almost touching the ground into a full split, right?
In two
So
months?
yeah, 2 months of consistent everyday stretching, and like that discipline really just developed my passion for being mobile, as well as athletic, which has always been a core principle of mine. But then moving forward, I ended up having an injury to my knee here. This little arrow that I have here. I tore my MCL skateboarding of all things. And then that's what really kickstarted my passion for being like fully mobile and like a well-rounded athlete as in bodybuilding, right? So then mobility is like, yeah, uh, something that I've developed my own systems in lengthening, strengthening every joint and yeah, of the body.
So, I'll ask this question.
Hmm.
I understand, like, okay, this current leg of my career, the top priority is bodybuilding, right?
Hmm.
And the goal is to make an argument that I am the greatest natural bodybuilder of all time. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter if you agree with it, but like I want to make that
Yeah.
argument, right?
Yeah.
And posing factors into that. Between you and I, like we both understand, you
Hmm.
can't be the greatest natural bodybuilder of all time
If you
and
can't
not
play it.
be one of the greatest posers. So like we're on the
Yeah.
same page about that. Up until now, I've been going to the gym. I train. I sweat. I get sore. I leave. Right.
Hmm.
In the past week, I train. I finish the workout, then I go in the posing room, and then I do posing for 30 minutes. And now I'm sweating even worse because
Hmm.
I'm holding the poses. I'm trying to do like
Yeah.
the static holding and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Active muscle
Um,
activation.
let's say you were my posing coach and you're training your greatest rival. What advice would you give me in order to like master to protege? I want to work on my movement. I want to work on my flexibility.
I mean, yeah, you need to start training your mobility like you do a bodybuilding or a strength movement. You need to train with that same intensity in your mobility, active mobility, not just passive, right? You need to take that time in I say your warm up, right, should be as in like as intense effort as like your main exercise of the day, right? You need to be treating everything like it is a max effort, right? So lots of people, they're just la di da, warming up the shoulders, right? I I take those exercises as very intentional and intense, like as intense as I can make it with as much load as I can handle within the proper form uh, and range of motion. And yeah, that's what really develops that muscle activation and ability to hit those extended ranges of motion comfortably, which posing really requires. It requires you to get into the extended ranges of motion of external rotation of the shoulder, internal rotation of the shoulder, elbow extension, elbow flexion. Most guys that are big, or they built the muscle without focusing on length of the muscle, they can't get those full extensions, so that it also loses out on some details that they can show in the muscle, right? So taking your mobility and treating it like your main movements, or your like a strength movement, right? Maximal effort and maximal control and stability, etc. And then yeah, taking your passive mobility at the end of your workout with that same intensity, but in the relaxing way, right? We're not trying to go hard, we're trying to relax. But
So the thing that is starting to hit me, as an athlete who's really going for, let's call it gold, because if this was the Olympics and we're going for gold. Um, man, I was doing like going to the gym hour and 30 minutes, and then you're out of here. Like I don't warm up. I haven't warmed up. I've,
mm,
I've never warmed up. I just get into it. My warm up is like the first couple sets,
yeah,
maybe of each workout for like the first couple workouts, and then hour later I'm walking out.
mm,
What I'm foreseeing, and we really have to like be mindful as how this gets structured, which is why I'm really interested in building a team. But what I'm foreseeing is like more hours spent on the body
mm.
and everything that entails, like hours spent on resistance training, hours spent on warming up the body and like functionality, mobility, hours spent on posing, hours spent on recovery. You get what I'm saying?
Well, so I'll stop you there. I believe that it's all about minimal effective dose.
Okay.
Right? We're not trying to be in doing the warm up for minutes and minutes on end. It should be, if you're doing it properly with the proper intensity, it should take like 15 minutes tops if you're
Okay.
really trying to go into it, right? And with the workouts, I'm always like, once you get up to a proper, like a enough time in the sport where you're trying to shorten the amount, or shorten the time, what's I have this, you're trying to shorten the amount of time, but increase the amount of intensity within that time, right?
Right.
You're trying to compress and compact your workout, or that time in that intense zone, to as short as possible to get the most out of it. And then you start with a minimal effective dose and making that time as intense as possible. Then you slowly build up that minimum effective dose towards the maximum effective dose, and keeping that intensity as compact as possible, not taking the time in between your reps to get that little extra breath, keeping that time under tension as much as possible. How fast are you exploding on your contraction, right? How much force are you trying to drive through the muscle? Or are you just trying to, like, oh, that's enough force to get it from point A to point B? There's all these little intricacies that you can use to increase that intensity and demand on the muscle and shorten that time frame. So yeah, we're not spending hours and hours doing the arduous processes, right?
Yes. Yeah. I like how you worded that. Well said, man. Well
Yeah.
said.
Thank you. I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's coming out right.
No, no, that came out wonderfully. Because I was momentarily starting to feel a little overwhelmed with the amount of time. And I want to spend this time. I want to spend this time on my body.
But you
It's
got so
just
much
that,
other things.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So you get it. Okay. Well, that's helpful. Let's keep going. I really wanted to touch on the topic of female bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I really wanted to talk about that. So
I
you
mean,
sent me
as
some.
much as
Mhm.
I'm qualified to. I'll
Sure.
I'll give my opinions, but yeah,
Okay. Fair. Fair. You sent me some athletes from different eras
yeah,
of bodybuilding, and it really piqued my interest as to like how female bodybuilding was represented in the past during the golden era and things of that nature. And I'm really interested. I will be honest with you that directly after the Natty King, which we are eyeing 2028 production, the best case scenario is it's a huge hit. Netflix takes it up, and it's a game changer. Biggest story in the fitness industry, perhaps
yeah,
even the biggest story in Hollywood. It definitely has the potential to be that. Directly after, I would like to go into production on the Natty Queen for 2029.
hmm
And essentially, it would be like the same model where we would have 30 natural female athletes competing for the title of the Natty Queen. I picked a division, wellness, just because, from my perspective, with my own brain, the wellness division is the most marketable for mainstream audiences.
at the
Now,
moment, yeah,
after speaking to you, and you showed me what, you know, there were some physiques looking like, what would you call it? The women's physique division?
yeah,
What is that?
women's physique, yep.
Women's physique division. I think that's a really cool look. And I see it transferable because one thing I may not have ever clarified to you is in the same way that WWE had a potential to be a breeding ground for future movie stars, the Natty King and the Natty Cinematic Universe is intended to be a breeding ground for future stars in Hollywood. Like that's 100% the intention. So if we're working together and you
Yeah,
have aspirations of being in movies, yeah, we can work together and I can get you ready. I can
yeah.
definitely get you ready. So keeping that in mind for the Natty Queen, what physique, what look, like what kind of athletes would have the most transferable position into, let's say, being a movie star or being like an action star in a TV show or something like that?
I mean, so I believe that every female category below women's physique, like even fitness, the women's fitness category, they have probably the most marketable ability just with the abilities that they can do with their body. They're all gymnast, cheerleader background. They can do the performance and the acrobatic routines. You teach them how to get the posing a little bit more artistic and flowing with that. Like you're creating like yeah, an amazing performance. But every category, bikini, or fit model bikini,
Wellness.
wellness, figure, all of those categories, those females have the muscle and the potential to step into a natural woman's physique competition and still display a proper, performance at the very least. Sure, they may not have the total hourglass or the total muscle separation, but still, yeah, I believe that woman's physique, if we open up that category to like that uh, broader, I guess, target physique, I guess,
Hmm.
then more females, just by sheer stage time, want to jump into women's physique because they can, display more.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm just thinking, like, all right, so we unofficially have one female athlete who's confirmed to compete for the Natty Queen.
Hmm.
I say unofficially because I haven't even officially started casting for that
Yeah.
season yet. But I have made a good connection. Her name is Bria Grace. She's over in Canada as well. Um, she competes in wellness, and
Hmm.
she's got a wellness physique. And I'm
Yeah.
trying to right now, as we're talking, I'm trying to picture her physique in. I can't even remember. I keep forgetting the actual division that we're talking
Physique.
about. Physique. I'm trying
Yeah.
to picture her wellness physique in women's physique division, and I'm trying to see like if it if it translates correctly.
I mean, wellness, they do emphasize the lower body, but still should have like the delts and the arms and the V tape, the hourglass taper, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you get them out of the heels, they're able to, you know,
Do more.
yeah.
Yeah, they're able to do more. Okay.
But yeah,
All right.
I agree, wellness is definitely the most popular as far as marketing goes right now. But
Mm-hmm.
what do you like? how much is there to a sport where you walk on stage, you turn front, you turn back, or some categories are only like half turns now. Turn front,
Dude,
turn back, walk off,
I'm
right?
definitely sold because if you think about like what the anime structure is supposed to look like, the posing routine is where it's at, especially for
Hmm.
like the first season or two before we actually start doing power scaling. The
Yeah,
posing routine is the opportunity to show a person's mastery of
yeah,
the craft of bodybuilding. Like that's their
yeah,
opportunity. So if you can't show that in wellness division, then like what's the point in promoting wellness division? You know,
yeah, yeah,
I'll have to talk to her. I'll have to talk to her and like other athletes.
yeah,
Um, and it's going to be hard. I'm definitely going to need some help
yeah.
because it's enough work casting 30 male natural bodybuilders for the first season. So
I'll send any that I see my way,
yeah,
or
yeah,
I'll send any that I see your way.
okay. And hmm, what happened to women's physique division? Like, why did it look so much cooler back in the day?
I mean, it was really popular with Dana Lynn Bailey. You're familiar with Dana Lynn Bailey?
Potentially,
I DLB, they all Flag Nor Fail, like apparel, and like they're massive fitness YouTubers. They're like one of the OG fitness YouTubers. Rob Bailey is her husband. He does music, and it's hard to encapsulate what all they do, but she started competing in 2012 when physique became a division, I believe that was. And then she was Miss Olympia for like years running, right? And that was like a very popular era because she documented kind of like what Chris Bumstead did, but before Chris Bumstead, she documented all of her preps and her journey to the stage. She had a massive audience. They have massive followings all across America and the world, right? And she really revived that sport of women's physique. Well, as the as it introduced into bodybuilding, but then like everything, it kept on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And yeah, now
you're
today,
saying
like
that was the beginning of wellness?
no, beginning of figure or
Oh,
sorry, Jesus, beginning of women's physique.
okay,
Wellness was only
2012.
introduced, huh?
2012.
Yeah, 2012. Wellness was only introduced, I believe, in recent years.
Okay, I believe you're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, okay. So she kind of made women's physique popular
yeah,
in 2012.
yeah,
All right, so I have to take a look at her and see what she was
yeah.
doing.
Dana Lynn
Uh,
Bailey, yeah. Well,
how is her posing?
amazing. Like
Okay.
she had the grace, she had that femininity. She was able to hit everything in continuity with the music. She's done posing routines with Kai Green and everything, like
Oh,
guest
really?
posing. Oh yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so maybe she might be the standard for like what we're looking for.
I mean, I would say yeah, she's definitely the OG and I would say still a standard for women's physique.
Man, I've never even seen a live woman's physique. I've been to multiple bodybuilding shows in like the past 2 years, and I
Yeah.
can't tell you a single time I've actually seen a
Yeah,
woman's
it
physique.
it's rare, but it's on the verge of blowing up. That's my opinion, right? I'm putting it out there because I believe that the sport has what it takes is if it everything takes the trend of going back, 20, 30 years and
Amen.
reviving.
I mean, that's what the vision is.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. So there's some homework for me to do. All right, let's talk about you for a second. There are two things that you said in DMs that I wanted to touch on.
yeah, my
Firstly,
nickname.
yeah, Yoshi. Yeah, tell me about Yoshi.
I mean, it's not much of a story, but my family just I've had many nicknames growing up. Um, but Yoshi was one that stuck with my family. It started as Joshy, and I would always throw tantrums. Like we're talking like little kid. And I would always throw tantrums saying it's just Josh. And then Joshy turned to Yoshi by some phonetic way. And yeah, it was always just a thing that I was called by my aunts, uncles, family, and then never really paid much mind to it, right? Never really was called it outside of my family. But when I stepped on stage, I realized, that wasn't me. right? When I stepped on stage, it was like I entered a different character, a different persona. And from that day, I've been trying to develop that character in darkness, slowly come out in glimpses here and there, but like that character that really encapsulates, I feel, my inner child, right? Back, if I could remember the times back when I was like free of care or being self-critical, where I just wanted to share and be open with the world and have that passion, right? I feel that character when I go on stage, right?
Amazing.
So over these years, I've been developing it, wary to give it away to the world, and now I feel like it's the time. I my name is Josh, but I am Yoshi, if that makes sense,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
it's bringing that out to the world through my performances, through being social media facing. I want to just because mostly I'm mumbling, like if I'm in my you know my introverted state. I'm not as forward facing. The sentences don't come as smoothly as I feel they do. But if I step into that persona, that character outside of myself that I've seen many people do over the years, and yeah, this is just my version of it.
I love it. Some of the best performers refer to having an alter ego.
Yeah,
Beyonce, most notably, she called it Sasha Fierce.
yeah,
You know, I would say for my own performance, I'm like a method actor, so
yeah,
like I'm so like Shaun Fury is so twisted into like this whole like I can't even get out of this character if I wanted to. So
yeah,
it's like it's 24/7. I'm just but I completely relate to what you're saying.
yeah, man.
Um I love it. I love the nickname. I love how you described it. It sounds like super cool and something that we can explore further. Um I do want to say I would love to further develop your character because like I'm gonna break it down how I kind of visualize how I would like to work with you.
Yeah.
I see you as opposing rival, which is great. I see you as a person who's passionate about the female side of the sport and is looking to like revitalize it and be a champion for it. So I see you as a potential founding father of the Natty Queen
Mm,
segment, and there's an opportunity where you and I could work closely together when it comes to casting and tailoring the judging criteria, posing criteria, things of that nature within the Natty Queen project. Obviously, we would want to put female athletes in great positions of authority for that
yeah.
to make sure that like they're running the
Oh yeah.
show. But like you and I would be kind of helping. We would be helping. Like I
Yeah.
want to empower.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just putting the spotlight on the females to do their yeah the women to do their
exactly,
thing. And
exactly. So beyond posing rival, helping with the female, helping build out the female side,
hmm
and then when it comes to like your brand or your persona within the Natty verse, I
hmm
personally really like the warrior, but
mm,
I would like to add on to that concept, which is
yeah,
like when I talk to you, you come off very kind-hearted and passionate. And
yeah,
then you tell me about your background in MMA, which we can
hmm
obviously dive deeper into.
yes, sir.
But there's a saying, I think it was, I don't know if it was Miyamoto Musashi.
Gardener in a
Um,
war.
hmm?
Better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in a war.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I feel like I've always been a warrior in a garden. I've never had real troubles come to face me. I've always been able to navigate things away. Um, Yeah, but as yeah, warrior in a garden, I'm prepared for any moment at the drop of a hat. I can turn that switch, but yeah, I'm as peaceful as possibly can be.
Yes, agreed, agreed. So we're on the same page about that.
Yes, sir.
So from then, it's just a matter of like these are the ideas as to how I would like to work with you specifically, and then beyond that, in the event that you were like to wind up on the 30-man roster competing for the title of the Natty King, between now and the end of 2027, which is conceptually when the casting would be completely over. Between now and then, I would want to find a unique and fun way to introduce you into the
Mm.
roster. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Like a storyline or something
I
where
mean,
like,
just look at the, have you seen the photos between me and Matt on stage?
oh yeah,
No?
briefly.
I mean, we definitely went head to head. Like that was a battle, and we know that's a rivalry and a camaraderie that we've started, right?
I love that.
And yeah, that's something that we're gonna be on every stage doing it, doing the dance, right? Back and forth.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
something if we're talking about like storyline worthy, there's a
So
couple of
here's
guys in that.
right, and here's how my brain works on that note. Right.
Mm,
So let's say, and this will require the work or the collaboration of like other athletes. But
mm-hmm.
let's say, for example, you and Matt go head to head again at a competition in like the future. Let's say sometime 2026. You guys
Yep.
are both at the like the Ben Weeders, right?
Yep. That's
And
cool.
you guys are like the last two, like 1 and 2, and it's like we're trying to decide who wins. Let's say in this hypothetical, let's say you got the overall and
Mm,
Matt lost to you on this time, right? That's an opportunity for you to like in character, however you can say it. Matt and I have been battling for a long time, and now I'm interested in battling with him on the greatest stage possible. So,
mm-hmm.
Shaun Fury, this is a shout. I'm ready. Put
Mm,
me on, right? And then
yeah, yeah.
from there, we would take that clip and segue into you being introduced as like the newest member added
Mm,
to the Natty King roster. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah.
And it can also work like vice versa, where like we would have to work with athletes. But
Mm-hmm.
let's say Matt gets the overall and he's going against you, and he's like, "Yeah, it was a tough battle. Like I want to do it again. I want to run it back." You know.
Mm-hmm.
And like Yoshi, he's actually one of my favorite competitors. I would love to see him on the Natty King roster. You know. But like we gotta like start associating your name with the Natty King,
Mm-hmm.
and have it be like have it make sense where when the announcement happens, it's like, oh, of course, yeah,
Yeah,
Yoshi needs to be competing on that roster. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So like that's the vision for like how I would integrate you into the roster specifically. But
I mean,
beyond that, like I already know how I would want to work with you.
yeah. I mean, I can start building that narrative up right now.
Do it,
Yeah,
do
man.
it. And
Yeah.
like I just my only thing is like I don't want you to like I don't want you to come out of your comfort
No,
zone.
no, I'm staying in my own lane, but if I'm gonna be like still have that drive to be the top, to be the best, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So, and yeah, king of the naturals and calling more audience and insights to that platform.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah. Because
starting
like
that talk.
absolutely. And I will say this. You're the second IFBB Pro natural that I've really ever spoken to at length. Matt was the first.
Mm-hmm.
And I do notice that there seems to be a slightly different mentality for a natural IFBB Pro compared to a natural pro in a different federation. Most of the time when I'm speaking to a natural pro, they sound very similar in their level of humility, like relatively soft spoken, very passionate about bodybuilding and things of that nature. But Matt more so, like he's like a bit like, no man, like
He is that guy. Yeah.
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 And even you to like maybe a lesser extent, but like
I mean, I'm developing, right?
right,
I side note, I think that was a big factor about the outcome of that show. The way he went in, like I know how he talks, right? He's going in there to win. That's the exact same mindset I took into the year prior when I won my pro card. This competition, I was like, okay, I'm going for a good turnout. I think I can win this, right? But I need to know what to expect before I think I can win it, right? So and there was so many lessons being my first pro show that I did have to learn. But now, like once I make that eyes on my next show, I know I'm going in there to win it. Like there is no
love it.
more like hesitant mentality.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I personally don't see a place for hesitancy in this sport. Maybe in any
yeah.
sport. I've heard stories, and I love this story because it's the exact opposite of my mentality. But Mike Tyson one of the greatest boxing
Yep.
champs ever. He would have nightmares before the night before he would go in to face his opponent. He'd have nightmares about the opponent, and he'd be
Hmm.
scared. And then the minute that he stepped into the stage or like stepped onto the ring, and
Yep.
he would see his opponent, the
He's
fears would like
unstoppable.
go away. Yeah,
Yep.
and it's like I love that that exists because it goes to show that champions can come from like any kind of mentality. You
Hmm.
know, like there's not one specific champion mindset
Yep.
that is required in order to be a champion. You know,
Exactly.
so but I think that's very good news for what we're doing since like we're casting 30 stars.
Yep.
So yeah, like we're on the same page. We're just strategically turning you into a natural bodybuilding star. That's what we're doing. That's what this conversation is.
I mean, I'm humbled by it.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's make it happen.
I love it. I love it. Okay, well, I do. Like I said, you're already on your own trajectory of growth, and I'm just here to assist. So as we continue to work together and collaborate, I want you to get deeper into your understanding of your own character,
Hmm.
and don't like you don't have to do anything that you don't feel lines up with who you are or who you're
Hmm.
becoming.
Yes.
Like if you can align yourself with who you are and who you're becoming, then if I offer like an idea and it doesn't line up with who you are or who you're becoming, you can just shoot it down
Yeah,
and we
I'll
can
be the
continue to
first
build
to
off of
tell
that.
you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that makes sense.
Cool, cool. Okay. Well, that's kind of the talking points that I had in mind.
Yeah.
From here
Other than
on,
other than that,
yeah,
my
like,
photographic memory, you said,
oh yes,
was
please tell me about that.
I mean, there's not much to it. Like it's not 100% accurate, but like as just as early as I can remember, I can just recall memories very vividly and details vividly. And my mom always said it was a photogenic memory, but
That's
she
amazing.
just misunderstood the words a little bit. But yeah, I call it a photographic memory. It's just easy for recall, but I am fallible. I'm not perfect, but yeah, those big moments I'm able to recall from my childhood.
So,
Mm.
what's the greatest example, just for future reference? What's the greatest example that you can like describe of this skill?
Oh, I mean, I remember my first time being on skates at like I believe I was 2 years old at in Calgary at Canadian Olympic Village. They weren't even like the real like blade skates, right? They were like little slip-on like toddler skates with two blades on each side. And I remember being with all my family, aunts, uncles, cousins. We're all skating. It's like a little circular rink that they had set up there. And yeah, I remember that being my first time on skates. And then shortly after that, my mom signed me up for can skates, which is like a power skating learning to skate competition. I remember going there every weekend to do like learning how to skate. And then from there, I remember my final performance where we were Cinderella and the little mouse, three the little mice. We were all the little mice following the instructor around on stage. This is a random memory that I just like came out of nowhere.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And then the
I
year
love
after
that.
that, I started hockey.
Wow, wow. Um, and MMA, how long were you doing that?
I started that when I quit hockey in grade 10. I quit basketball. I went right into mixed martial arts. I was like 14 years old, and then I started that like pretty much 4 hours a day after school every day until I was 18 or so. And that's something that I still train and keep a part of my training to this day. Once a martial artist, always a martial artist.
So you still train as a martial artist?
Well, like I keep my training, like I keep like the form and the foundations of hitting the bag, going through rounds, working on combinations,
Okay.
working on, the things that I was taught within my curriculum, and then every once in a while I get an opportunity to join a class or do a jujitsu uh class or whatever, and I hop right into that. But I know it's something I will pursue more after bodybuilding as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. This is good to know. I'm gonna just say this out for like planting the seed.
Mm.
My Instagram live has only crashed one time, so I wasn't able to post the full live recording on YouTube, and I was really pissed
Yeah.
about that.
Yes.
So every time I'm about to say something, I'm always like, I hope this doesn't crash. But So I'm just saying this for future reference. We have a cinematic docuseries that we want for Netflix, and then directly after that, I want to do like a feature length film that kind of ties in the cinematic docuseries with the future anime that takes place 20 years in the future. And
Mm,
I'm really, really attached to this like this fight sequence where
mm,
like we have like the 30 natural bodybuilders, and we would take the ones that have like the most proficiency in
mm.
whatever martial arts. Like we have people who like do karate,
Yep.
taekwondo, MMA, and stuff like that. And I would want to do like this really cool fight sequence where it's the Natty King roster
Yep.
against like whoever Big Pharma sends after us to like make sure the
Oh,
tournament doesn't
Agent
go.
Smith style, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
so like I'm like really attached to that fight sequence. So whenever
Yep.
I meet a new athlete who's like got some fight experience, I'm like,
Oh man.
yes.
Choreography, fighting, all of it, man.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
stoked about that fight scene. But like I said, that's years in the future.
Yes,
But
sir.
cool, man. This is great. This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep working together. Let's I wanna like figure out how to create the most heat so that when we in the event that we bring
Yep.
you onto the
Yep.
roster, it makes sense where like, oh shit, like Yoshi's on the
Yep.
roster now. You know what I
We
mean?
need to create some friction. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yep.
you know, we can brainstorm. We can
Yeah.
brainstorm offline, online, however we want to do it.
Sounds good.
Cool, man.
All right.
Well, this was great. I got back day and then some posing to catch
Best
up to
of luck.
you.
Get
I'm
that
coming
pump
for
up.
you. I'm coming for you
Oh
for
yeah, man.
posing.
I'm waiting for it.
I'm down. I'm down. Cool, man. Let's keep this going. I will talk to you soon.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
All
See
right.
ya.
Likewise, the
Bye.
pleasure is all mine.
Bye.
All right. Peace.